Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Profit. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all drip ecosystem related projects. And today's video is kind of a follow-up to the one I recently did, reference the product-centric and customer-centric focus. And there's a comment from Be Free on my previous video about Forex being discouraged. And it made me think about this in more depth to try to understand, which side of the fence to choose, or is it like right in the middle? And I want to pose that question for you guys. So I'm going to read this and then we're going to find this quote as well. So he said, I remember one of your videos, you were comparing Forex and Steve Jobs' personalities and found similarities. One of Steve's beliefs was that people don't know what they want until they see it. Up until now, that's how most of the investors in our ecosystem felt when products are out. We love it and find it innovative while being close to perfection. In my view, we are pushing too hard on Forex, which I find is unfair. It's time to focus back on what we can control and let the man do his thing. Crypto Ranch, Drip Marketing DAO, all other projects that support the ecosystem should be proof that Drip is really a community project. So I had to look this up. Actually, I replied to this myself with an analogy that I'm gonna share with you guys, because I think he's right. And then I also think there's another way to look at this. So this quote that first you got Henry Ford that is attributed to this quote that says, if I ask my customers what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse. And obviously made the Model T, and we have cars. And then this one's in Business Inc. So there's no direct quote, but it's a summary of this. So some people say, give the customer what they want, but that's not my approach. Our job is to figure out what they're going to want before they do. And then I think Henry Ford once said, if I'd asked customers what they wanted, they would have told me a faster horse. People don't know what they want until you show it to them. That's why I never rely on market research. Our task is to read things that are not yet on the page. And here's another one. We think the Mac will sell zillions, but we didn't build Mac for anybody else. We built it for ourselves. We were the group of people who were going to judge whether it was great or not. We weren't going to go out and do market research. We just wanted to build the best thing we could build. And there's another, I'm not going to read that, but there's a summary down there. So the question is, what does that mean? Does that mean you don't listen to your customers at all and you just build whatever you think you want? And like he said, he was building it for himself and the group of people who were going to judge whether it was great or not. So Apple was a product-centric focused business, 100%. But as this person put in the article here, he said, I don't think Jobs was trying to say, as many people have suggested, that you shouldn't listen to your customers or that the customer isn't always right. I think Jobs was saying something entirely different. There's a difference between trying to build products by asking customers what they want, especially when they often don't know, and listening to how your customers respond to whatever it is you made. Your customers may have no idea what they want, but they definitely know how they feel about the thing you just built. And that's key right there. They know how they feel about the thing you just built. So I mentioned this in my fitness side. So I know customers want the magic pill. They want the shortcut. They want the quick fix. They don't want the, this is a marathon, not a sprint. You got to do this every day. Drink your water, get up, don't sit at your desk, don't eat fast food all the time. Like, they don't want any of that. They want the shortcut. And if I listen to them and try to give them that magic pill or some BS 30 days to a sexy body program or whatever, it's not going to work. But if I just give them what they want, then they would buy it, but they definitely wouldn't come back because it's not what they need. So it's a double-edged sword. But the big difference I think that's here is that these are products. So Steve was selling a product. What is being sold in crypto and what the Forex Shark team is responsible for is essentially gambling and investing. So, I mean, you can call all of crypto gambling because essentially it's magic internet money and it only has value because we as a collective say it does, unlike fiat, which has value because the government says it does. So outside of that, yeah, it's not investing, it's just gambling. We're all just gambling. So since we're gambling, the analogy that I shared in this response is, imagine that you were sitting at the casino at a roulette wheel, we'll say, right? So since we have to agree first that we're all just gambling, right? So that crypto is indeed gambling. It's not investing because it's just speculative. The only investing, I guess you could say, would be BTC with its built-in supply shock, and then ETH with its smart contracts and stuff like that. Everything else we're kind of building on top of and feeling our way out how it's going to develop. But the long and short is it's really gambling on the network adoption and how everything's going to work out. Like, I believe it's going to take its toll and we'll be here, but for the short term, we're just speculating on price go up, price go down, right? Because utility, as I showed you guys, is not driving the space. There's all sorts of great utility, but degens aren't buying that utility. The only people buying the utility are Bitcoin hodlers. The rest are day traders and flippers, and Pepe is a perfect example of that. So we will have to agree that it's gambling. Now, if it's gambling, imagine you went into the casino, right? So now we're going to get back to this. People don't know what they want until you give it to them. So since we're gambling, you go into the casino and you're going to place your bet on the roulette wheel. You don't place it on the wheel, but you place it on this board right here, right? So let's just say you decide you're going to just play the odds of the 50-50. It's actually like 48% red, 48% black due to the greens. But let's just say you put it on red. You know, you're betting your risk capital, and the roulette dealer spins the wheel, and before the ball stops, he decides to move your bet to black because he's like, nah, I think it's better that, you know, you bet on black because I know better what you want, right? Remember, we're gambling. Now, a couple options can happen. It can land on black and you're perfectly happy, right? That's option one. It can land on red and you're pissed because you lost and you would have had it on red. That's option two. Or it could land on the greens, the zeros, and both of you lose. So it's not red, it's not black, it's zero. But you're still pissed because the dealer moved your bet. So 2 out of 3 outcomes on the roulette table are you will be happy with a loss because, well, one you would win and the other one would be a loss. And you would be happy because you made that choice. There's only a 1 out of 3 chance that the dealer's right. So if you have to take those odds, then one, you lose, but you're happy because it was your decision and your loss, and you did that to yourself. The other, you won. So that's the difference. And I think that's where most people are at. So we just want the products out without the delays. And of course, they're safe and whatnot. And the products he's designing is kind of like Steve Jobs mentioned, is designing like the Mac for him, you know, and people that he thinks will resonate with that. And at some stage, I'm quite sure that it will be adopted in that way. But is that the energy in the space right now? I don't know. I can't really tell you. I do know if the marketing is done properly, then these things can be picked up. But as I mentioned in the previous video, Animal Farm was supposed to revolutionize staking due to the way that the dividends are paid out and rehypothecation and the dynamic decentralized supply control algorithm and the dog pound vesting model. All these innovative things that 100% I agree. They're unique, they're innovative, they're nowhere else in the space, but it did nothing to bring eyeballs to the Animal Farm. The only capital that's in the farm was coming from pretty much the drip ecosystem. And we can say that safely because the farm TVL is down. Even though the farm has been running flawlessly for quite some time, there's no new injection of capital. We were up at like 170, 150, somewhere in there, 3x above what we're at. And you can't say it's because of the bear market, because since the farm launched, BTC, BNB, ETH, all these other tokens are up as well. So he added all sorts of amazing, innovative stuff that, as Steve Jobs said, built for himself and people like him. But at the end of the day, other people have to buy in, or else the token doesn't go up. The TVL doesn't go up, right? So you have to weigh both of those together. And I think that's the essence of this quote, what this guy is actually talking about when he summarizes it. It's like you can't ignore the customer feedback and sentiment, because ultimately they know how they feel about the thing you just built. And this is not subjective, this is objective. You can see how the community feels about the thing you just built, because it's down significantly compared to other assets in the crypto space. And it's got all the innovative tech and everything behind it. So the question remains, how will Piggy Plinko stack up? That's the part I don't know. I will be pleasantly surprised to see if it holds up and cause a significant pump in the ecosystem. It will all really depend on how well their marketing is. Now, again, humble pie, it sounds as though he's marketing it correctly with the team that's on board and bringing in these people that from behind the scenes that are going to expose things and all that. If that's done properly, man, this thing can absolutely rip and take off. But that's a future thing. I have no idea. All I can go off of right now is what we've seen, and what we've seen has not cut the mustard in regards to the innovation of the farm and the marketing or lack thereof, or I don't even know which marketing team did the farm. I remember there's a lot of videos and articles and stuff like that being done, but it hasn't done anything to bring in capital from outside the existing drip ecosystem. So long story short, I agree with what Be Free said, but the only difference is that applies solely to products. And right now, everything, in my opinion, specifically in the DeFi space, is just gambling. So with my casino analogy, I don't think it holds up the same way, because we're just gambling. Whereas maybe some of these products coming in the future, such as the games, CasinoFi, and all that stuff, that will work when the larger market adoption comes in with that. But I don't believe they're in the space right now. I think right now it's just a bunch of degen, moon boys, meme coins, and Bitcoin hodlers. That's it. Until the onboarding gets much, much simpler and people can seamlessly just play a game without knowing it's crypto behind it, then we got a long ways to go. When people can just download a wallet without going through a bunch of steps, and maybe it's encrypted just from using face recognition and not, a bunch of seed phrases or something like that. Like, it's got to be super seamless for normie adoption to come in, and you see these kinds of things where people are coming in to play it, and it's benefiting the ecosystem as a whole, because on the surface, they're just looking for the easiest way. So like, one of the big features of Piggy Plinko is that it's trustless and verifiably fair. Well, if you don't know how to go and verify the fairness due to the centralized exchange models like stake, and you probably don't care and you're willing to play because it's the ease of use to play, like they just make it super easy. But if to play this version and understand it, you need to understand how Chainlink works and blockchain works, and you gotta get a wallet, and you gotta do all this other stuff. There's more barriers of friction to playing a non-centralized version, which is better 100% than there is to playing the centralized version. And again, I know this from marketing multiple projects online in drop shipping, as well as fitness and building a business out here. People will take the path of least resistance every single time. That's all they want. They want the shortcut, and they want the ease of use. Very few people are the ones that do the research and the digging. And when you look at that adoption curve, your early adopters are the ones that understand all the tech and stuff like that. But when it hits that exponential growth, it's the simple one click and done. That's why Amazon made so much money once they made a one-click checkout. That was it. So anyway, I rambled on. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think regarding Steve Jobs quote, the Henry Ford quote? Is this a product? Is it a service? Is it just gambling? What about the analogy? All that stuff. Looking for your feedback. Let me know what you guys think. All right, that's all I got. Hope it provides value. If it did, smash that HBO special brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.